Imagine the silence of a room at 3 a.m., where the soft glow of a laptop screen illuminates a face etched with the exhaustion of 1,000 unfinished tasks. You are staring at a digital calendar, a grid of colorful blocks that was supposed to represent a life of purpose, but instead feels like a cage of your own making. Your heart races, not with passion, but with the suffocating weight of not enough. Not enough hours, not enough energy, and a faded version of yourself that is no longer enough for anyone. We have treated time as a commodity to be spent, or a debt to be paid, forgetting that every heartbeat is a borrowed gift. What if the frantic pace of your life isn't a sign of your productivity, but a symptom of a soul that has forgotten who truly owns the clock? We live in a culture that worships the hustle and sanctifies being busy. But in our quest to conquer the minutes, we have lost the moments. This message is for the one who feels like they are drowning in the shallow end of their own schedule. It is for the parent who is physically present but whose mind is miles away, for the dreamer who has buried their calling under a mountain of urgent emails, and for the seeker who can no longer hear the still, small voice of truth because the roar of the to-do list has grown too loud. We must realize that how we spend our days is, quite literally, how we live our lives. Time management is not a corporate skill or a productivity hack, it is a profound act of worship. It is the art of deciding what is holy and what is merely loud. Think back to the last time you told someone you loved that you didn't have time for them. Recall the look in their eyes, the subtle flicker of rejection, and the hollow ache in your own chest. We tell ourselves we are working this hard for them, but we are actually sacrificing the very relationships we claim to be protecting on the altar of someday. We treat God like an appointment we can reschedule, a footnote at the bottom of a Tuesday, or a guest we hope doesn't show up because the house is too messy. We are holding onto the steering wheel of our lives so tightly that our knuckles have turned white, terrified that if we slow down, the entire engine will fall apart. But there is a devastating internal conflict here. We are terrified of the void that remains when the busyness finally stops. The deep truth we often avoid is that our calendars are the most honest mirrors of our hearts. You can tell me what you value, but your bank statement and your calendar will tell me what you actually worship. If God is the creator of time, then every second is a sanctuary. When we mismanage our time, we aren't just being disorganized, we are being irreverent with a sacred trust. We have mistaken movement for progress and noise for importance. We must shift into a space of cinematic reflection, where we see our hours not as sands slipping through our fingers, but as seeds being planted in eternity. Every yes to a trivial distraction is a no to a divine assignment. The realization hits when you finally stop running long enough to feel the wind on your skin. It is that moment of clarity where you see that the world didn't end because you didn't answer that text immediately. You look at the sunset and realize it didn't ask for your permission to be beautiful, and the earth didn't ask for your help to keep spinning. Your perspective shifts from, I have to do this, to, I am trusted with this. You begin to see that your calendar isn't a list of burdens, but a map of opportunities to be the hands and feet of something greater than yourself. You reclaim your morning, not to get ahead of the competition, but to get behind the Creator. You learn that, no, is a complete sentence and a spiritual boundary that protects your yes. As you move forward, let your calendar be a testament to your faith rather than a monument to your anxiety. Stop trying to find time and start making room for what matters. When you put God on your calendar, you aren't just adding another task, you are inviting the eternal into the temporary. You are declaring that you are no longer a slave to the clock, but a steward of the light. Let the world rush by if it must, but you will walk at the pace of grace. Your life is too short to be spent on things that don't echo in eternity. Either you will own your time, or your time will surely own you. The greatest tragedy isn't running out of time, it's having plenty of it and missing the point entirely.